Hi everyone, it's important to note that I will be using snippets from The Witcher's panel at San Diego Comicon, and those snippets will be taken from the channel Films That Rock. I'll link his channel down below so you guys can check him out. Alright, what's going on everybody? This will be my video covering the Comicon panel of Netflix's The Witcher. Now right off the bat, jumping right in here, I think Yvette Nicole Brown was probably one of the most annoying hosts of any kind of panel I've seen. I know that's kind of harsh, but she's being very annoying and over the top, in my opinion. I know if you like her, it's whatever. She's not a horrible actress and a horrible person. It's just, she didn't fit this kind of panel. I don't know why they got her to be the leading person on the panel, but I honestly would have rather seen someone else. Maybe someone who knew what they were talking about when it came to the source material, because she was obviously reading off a script when it came to the video game and books. Now this is going to be a fun discussion about The Witcher and how the panel went and my thoughts, but not to get too far into the current socio-political climate, but Yvette hits on Henry Cavill and talks about his muscles and his attractiveness, and she stutters like she's, awestruck with him. And now that bothers me, because let me flip that for a moment and say if it was a male leading the interview and he talked to one of the female actresses like that, now I don't need to tell you that that would be a shitstorm. Like I said, not to get too far into it, but I wanted to point out the hypocrisy.
Henry? Hi, Henry. First of all, I just want to say it's a shame that you're unattractive. It just sucks that you just have no muscles.
That it was meant for him.
I often have his voice in my head.
Different. Different.
Images and his voice. Sorry, I do. Go on. Sorry, Lauren.
In my last video, I talked about how Henry Cavill seemed to be very interested in his role, but after watching this panel, it makes me absolutely sure that he is in love with his role. Henry talks about how even before they had the show ready, he was calling and bugging Lauren, who was behind the show, to make sure he gets the role, even before the show was written. Especially when they ask him what a Witcher is, and he gives a full definition, rather than saying, some already pre-thought up, pre-written for him, they hunt monsters and they're magic. Especially when he talks about Roach and says she's a flying horse. All the glitches and bugs that were in the game, where Roach would appear up on top of roofs and everything else. That just shows that he's not just talking out his ass when he says he's played the games. Henry also reveals that he does all his own stunts, saying it's very important to him that when you see Geralt on screen, it's him, not just some stunt guy.
Those who don't know, what is a Witcher?
What is a Witcher?
Yes.
Right. Okay, hands up here who doesn't know what a Witcher
Who
is.
doesn't know what a Witcher is? There's a couple people who don't know.
There's actually quite a few.
Tell them, Henry.
Okay.
Tell them.
Yeah, no, I wasn't criticizing the question. That's an awesome question. I was just wondering. Okay, what is a Witcher? A Witcher, in short, is a young boy who's been taken from the streets or left to fend for themselves, and then ultimately taken in by this group called witches. And they are trained to levels of almost inhuman agility and endurance. And then from there, they're subjected to various alchemical trials, and they become mutants. Most of these children do not survive, and say 1 in 10 would survive these trials. And then after that, they are trained in the art of monster hunting, and they travel the world hunting monsters for coin. And that is their one and sole purpose in the world, and they are often rejected by people because they're not supposed to have emotions.
Ooh.
And that serves them very well in their monster hunting. But ultimately, just a group of badasses who kill monsters.
Now it seems like, judging from the panel, that the actresses who played Yennefer, I think her name is Anya Colatra, I butchered that and I'm sorry, but Ciri, who is Freya Allen, which that's an easy name, why can't your name just be easy to say, are just doing a job. It's clear they aren't as invested in this personally as Henry is. It seems like they're just, okay, well here's another acting gig, that's what it is. Whereas Henry Cavill is, he's played the games, he bugged her all day long, trying to find, so he can get in the role. He's calling her, hey, can I have this role? The show's not even ready. It seems to them it's just a job, which is fine, whatever. I'm just, making an observation. I'm not saying they're going to be bad in the show. You know, I don't say that they're horrible actresses and actors. You know, I haven't seen them yet in the show. I'm just saying that if you were to ask them about their respective characters, they would probably only give the Cliff Notes. You know, they were Cliff Notes that were made for them. Miss Henry can give a full story of the history of Witchers and what it is and who Geralt means to him and everything else. Hell, the man can even tell you about Roach. You know, so... Now, it's very important that I give full credit to the creator slash showrunner slash writer, Lauren Schmidt. I had my doubts of her ruining the show when all the controversy hit earlier this year, or I think it might have been late last year, whenever she was defending the idea of a black Ciri despite it going clear against the source material. After that, I was worried that she would ruin the show with forced diversity and inclusivity, which is, it's important to note that the show isn't out yet, so it very well could be ruined by forced diversity and everything else and all the SJW bullshit. But there's no way to know right now, considering obviously we've only seen cherry-picked trailers with action and everything else. But after hearing her talk about the show on the panel, she very clearly knows her stuff and cares about the material. Like I said, we may disagree politically and on certain issues, but credit where credit is due. She seems to be able to separate her personal views from her job, and that's something I can appreciate. All in all, without trying to repeat what I said in yesterday's video, go watch it, please. The show already looks great, but the panel has cemented my hope for the show. Everybody, thank you for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. Let me know what you guys think of what you've seen from the show so far. That trailer excites you? Or are you just disappointed? You think it's going to be good? You know, are you excited for the show or not? Make sure you subscribe, and I appreciate everybody watching. Take care, and I'll see you soon.